about to head back up to do the Bucktail Path up here in north central Pennsylvania. This time I'm going to do it heading southbound, and there's a new reroute right after the fire tower. At least there'll be some new sections to see. So we're meeting the rest of the group at 10 o'clock. So being a 3-hour drive from Pittsburgh, me and Beth decided to come up here last night and car camp. So we were originally, the plan was going to be a car camp at Cinnamohoning State Park, which is near the meeting spot for this morning. And then I realized that the state park campgrounds aren't open yet. So I searched around and I found this campsite up here. It's about a half an hour drive from where we're meeting them. And this one's called Yellow Snake Campground. It's an equestrian campground, but like 4 months out of the year, I think maybe from like January through Memorial Day or something, horses aren't allowed, so it's only car camping. So we were the only ones up here. And as you can see behind me, well, I'll spin this around and show you here. There's 6 campsites up here. It's just a loop around here. Like I said, I think I just said Yellow Snake. I just woke up, so I don't know. Yeah, Yellow Snake camping area. There's 1, 2, we're at 3. Each one has like these stalls for horses. Now, I don't know if you can see it or not, but that one down there, the stalls are like just narrow enough for horses to fit in, to stand up. And like 4 of them are like that. But this one here, this is number 3. This has nice wide open stalls, and it was supposed to rain last night. It rained and kind of snowed a bit. So I figured we could hang out under here, and I was able to hang my hammock in here. And Beth's got some elaborate car setup going on in there. So she slept in the car. As you can see where I'm set up, I mean, it fit perfectly, but there's like this ground underneath this dirt. There's like either like a wooden floor or a paved floor or something. And I could not get stakes to stick, so I tied off like this here. Well, Beth helped me with that one. I got these gigantic rocks holding down everything else. I got up in the middle of the night, and this one here was just completely coming down. Every time I'd sit down, it would just pop right out. I had to get back up, put my shoes on, come out and fix it. That was a pain. My pillow came untied from my ridge line. I had to take my gloves off and tie that. It got really cold last night, like I said, snowing. This thing, this wood is like real smooth on here, and when I was sitting in my hammock, I could feel this thing sliding down the pole, so I had to come up with this and jam a bunch of sticks in here. This is my new idea I come up with. Put my shoes in here so no porcupines run away with them at night. So yeah, just a bag and a carabiner. Beth said that she would take the carabiner off to save the 2 grams. So yeah, didn't sleep comfortably though. This is the northern end of the Bucktail Path. So if you're looking for this parking area, you just come down through Sizerville State Park. It's a paved road. You pass some maintenance buildings down here and it becomes a gravel road, and just look for this parking area here. Heading southbound, like I said, we all 6 of us hopped into Brian's truck. So Brian and myself, Beth, and Melissa, Kimmy, and Tom. So 6 of us headed out today. Just got us at 5 miles on the day. So getting pretty close to about halfway done for the day. And yeah, I haven't been filming much. There's not a whole lot of vistas. We're getting real close to camp now. And the beavers, 2 years later, still have this dammed up. So once again, we're going to be getting our drinking water downstream from the beaver dam. It's about 4:45, and we are at camp. It's the same campsite I camped at last time, the second night last time, going the other direction. Camp's pretty much set up. Cat hole pre-dug up in the hill. Food line is hung over here, and we got 2 hammocks going on over here. We got Brian over there, myself here. Ground is kind of soggy right here. Anyways, Beth set up over here, working on the fire ring. Further down, got Melissa, and down there is Kimmy. He's point correctly. Kimmy and Tom down there on the end. It's like 8 o'clock. We're going to try to be on trail tomorrow by 9. It's supposed to rain tomorrow. And so we got this campfire going. And we were told by the park rangers, we stopped at the park office, it's Cinnamahoney State Park, and they said there is no fire ban. So we are technically allowed to have this fire. And that's probably gonna be it for this evening. It is 9:02 in the morning. Our plan was to leave at 9. Looks like everybody's pretty much ready. It's 32 degrees. It got down to 25 last night. And definitely expecting like 80% of rain today. And we got about 13, maybe 14 miles to get to the campsite. There's the waterfall. I think this might be the path to get down there. I can't remember, but I don't know. I know I'm not going down there. I've seen it before. So. It's noon right now and 49 degrees. We just hit 6 miles. I'm just starting to feel first few little bit of raindrops. Nothing to get the rain gear out for. Hopefully we don't have to have rain gear on going up this next big hill after we get to the bottom here. I did want to mention the song of the day is the Quiet Riot version of Come On Feel the Noise. Well, we made it down here to the I forget what the name of this road is. Probably says on that sign over there. So the trail, as Brian pointed out, the trail coming from this direction, they want you to cross the creek right here and get on the blazes over there when you could just take the car bridge over here and avoid getting your feet wet over here. So anyways, this section of trail, as the trail goes into the woods and follows this creek, this is where we got our feet like really wet. There's no footbridges down in there. The trail just parallels the road, so we're just going to take the road. And then when the trail comes back out onto the road, there's someone had the big climb up onto this mountain over here. It should be like about 1,000 feet elevation gain. Who is the Einstein that built a campfire right here with all these dead leaves here? Pretty much at the top of that climb, that 1,000 feet took pretty much 50 minutes. And fortunately, we did make it to the top of the climb without the rain, but also Brian was able to get radar up here, and it looks like it's going to be right on top of us anytime. And I'm not sure exactly how intense it's going to be. We have the rain gear on now. Square Timber Overlook. We are actually off trail. We are cheating. We're doing like a road walk for about a mile to avoid a PUD. In this case, the point was down and then back up to the fire tower. So we might end up bushwhacking up the hill here to the fire tower. But it's going to save us a little bit of mileage, and so I'd towel it up. But yeah, pretty nice. We made it to camp. Here's the fire tower. Very secured fire tower. There's the cabin, outhouse over there. I'll show you the campsite in a minute. But this guy in a pickup truck just drove up here. It just kind of dead ends up here from the access road. We were hoping he wasn't going to kick us out of here after we set everything up, but there's no trespassing signs, and it's a state forest, so I don't know why we wouldn't be allowed to camp here. So if you can maybe hear the wind. Not just the wind, but it's supposed to get pretty darn cold tonight. So I am closing all the doors, and I got palace mode going on here. This is the least windy side of on this side of the cabin. So we got a couple of freestanding tents on the porch. That's set up there, and over here is Brian's hammock. So yeah, that guy in the pickup truck just left and didn't say anything to us. So here's your setup here. I'm gonna move that fire ring pit over here. Picnic table, garbage can full of empty bottles and food wrappers. I don't know how secure that is. Yeah, camp's pretty much set up. And, yeah, that's the camp. It's after 9. We left camp a little after 8:30, and it got down to 15 degrees last night. The wind finally stopped. We're down to 3 of us right now. Started with 6. So Beth wanted to start as soon as she was packed up because she wanted to get moving. It was so cold. And just a little bit ago, we crossed the road that the cars are on. And Kimmy and Tom just took the road back to their cars, probably like 4 miles. But we should have about a 13-mile day, and yeah, we'll be hitting the reroute sometime soon. All right, so this is that the gas pipeline that we came up last time, and this is where the reroute starts. Right here at this road crossing, Lick Island Road / Dead End Road. So we'll be heading straight across there. And according to Gaia, this is exactly 3 miles from the fire tower to right here. It was exactly 1/3 of a mile from the where we popped out onto the road up there on this forest road, and 1/3 of a mile you turn onto Lick Island Camp Loop right here. Pretty easy to see the turn though as you're walking, unless you're really not paying attention. Supposedly one of the reasons they rerouted this trail was to keep it from going through private property, but the trail goes right between these 2 cabins here. This is just a few minutes after we passed those hunting cabins. Really good, reliable water source here. There's some old, very faded yellow glazes on some of these trees. So apparently this part that we're on now is an old existing trail, but it's getting kind of pretty side hilly through this section. Still haven't seen any old existing campsites or anything down along this creek. It'd be easy to do hammocks, but there's really no flat spots for tents along here for the most part. I had to cross the creek back there. I had to stop to tie my shoes, so those guys got ahead of me. There was a kind of hard to see turn blaze that turned across the creek. Apparently they missed it because I thought they were ahead of me, but I am on the correct trail. I'm on the orange with the, I don't know if you can see the old faded yellow, but apparently they missed the turn. I just heard them hollering across the valley over there. Now they're bushwhacking up the hill to get here. That creek over there, that's the valley we came down through. I'm not sure if that's Lick Run or what's going on, but there's another same size creek coming together right here. And this is probably, I'm guessing, going to be, I don't know, maybe we follow this creek, but we are eventually at some point going to have to get back up higher in elevation, because I know the very last section of the trail is a downhill to the cars. And I did want to mention real quick before I forget, is coming down through that valley, there was quite a bit of side hilling for anyone interested. It's something to do with the trail, so be aware of that. So far today, we have not seen any existing campsites. You could definitely do it right down in here. Make something work. Nice and flat for tents. Definitely enough hammock trees down in there. And this is 5.5 miles from the fire tower, so right here. This little section right here is only about 1.5 feet, maybe 2 feet up off the creek. So if there was any kind of high water, well, it would be very fun getting through. Look across the creek right here. You got the Pumpkin Hollow Trail, yellow glazes. So maybe that was the old, where these yellow glazes are coming from. You can see the faded ones on this tree where we're turning. Well, the trail continues over there. Brian crossed this log. I'll fall in for sure if I try crossing this. Are you gonna do it?
I think
There you go. I'm gonna go look at this. I'll tell you in a second. All right, I think I'm gonna go rock, somehow, hopefully. I'm gonna try that. All right, my route across the rocks worked. So we are here at this kiosk. All right, so the Game Refuge Trail. So this is just like a little loop right here. It looked like a reservations campsite thing over there, just for like car camping. This is Lick Island Forest Road. Cabins on. Let me check out this outhouse is unlocked. There's one up there too. It's unlocked. This outhouse here is currently unlocked. It looks like we're going to be heading uphill now, since we got the creek over here flowing downhill, and the trails looks like it's going to parallel the creek. There's 2 campsites with the outhouses. Are 6.5 miles from the fire tower. Whatever creek this is, there's a lot of nice waterfalls coming all the way down through here. Nice valley. And this has already been steep coming up out of the valley. Like steep where your heels can't touch the ground. Looks like it's getting even steeper over there. Maybe it's just because I'm out of shape, but this hill would give Morgan Hollow a run for its money as far as steepness. I don't think it's quite as long, but I can see Melissa up top. Hopefully that's the top. Looks like I can get there with taking one more breather stop on the way. Unfortunately, that was not the top where they were at. That was just a break spot. We got figured out about 200 more feet up the hill. And from there, we have a bunch of flat walking all the way to that last drop to the car. So let's get up here and we're good for the day. Getting close to the top of the hill now. It's up there somewhere, but just to make a note, about 7.5 miles from the fire tower. And this may or may not be the last water. Let's see for the day. Just in case I'll make a note of it. The closer we get to the top, the less steep it's getting. It's still steep, but the more of these climbing over boulders we gotta do. Oh, I can see orange and it's a way up there yet to go. I'm at the top, as you can see. There's a trail continues over there. It's not blazed. Actually, there's a yellow blaze over there. My trail's going to continue over here. And I have never liked to see an ambulance trail so much as this. It's a big flat trail. After that climb, that was brutal. I'm just glad it wasn't 85 degrees on here. Now, the trail has been circling around this regrowth area, all fenced off. And here's a split. The old yellow blazes are going over there. But I'm still on orange. So I'm following the fence line still. Well, I got to thank Brian for the song of the day. He said that my song of the day should either be Rocky Like a Hurricane or You Shook Me All Night Long, because of the way those winds were blowing our hammocks around last night. So now song of the day is the one AC/DC song that I don't like. You Shook Me All Night Long. Okay, we're at about 8.5 miles on the day, and as you're walking along the fence line, just watch for this turn. Here through all this bulldozed area. The trail's gonna go over here. We're almost 10 miles on the day. I'm gonna estimate another 1.5 miles. But for a little while now, the trail's been like this, through these, just cut out through the mountain laurels like this. It's nice and flat, so we're making good time now. This far into the reroute, and I still haven't seen any established campsites. But if you were really desperate, a lot of flat spots through here, a lot of trees for hammocks. But at this point, we're really probably maybe 1.5 miles, maybe a mile or so to the car. So yeah, doesn't make sense to really have a campsite up here, I guess, especially since there's no water up here. I just came out to this T, and there's a yellow blaze trail over there. I'm gonna guess that goes around the other side of that fenced-in area and comes out onto the top of that big climb where I saw the something about Big Flats Trail. So yeah, the orange goes over here to the right. It's a good thing this trail's blazed, because as wide open as this section is, you can really just go in any direction. Just passed 11 miles on the day, and that would be, what, 8 miles so far on the reroute, and it looks like we're heading downhill. So without me looking at the map, I'm just kind of lining things up. Hopefully this is our last downhill to the Clarks. All right, this section is looking a little tricky. So there's the blaze. I'm heading downhill that way. Came from that way, and you can barely see a blaze up in there. I would imagine in the summer, once these mountain laurels start growing up, it's going to be really hard to see going that direction or coming down from there where to go. So I got another blaze on the other side of this mess. So I got to figure out how to best way around this. This downhill has been like side hilling on a bunch of wet leaves, wet underneath the leaves with all these rocks. And it's been kind of slow going now. There's not much of a path through this section. Not a whole lot anyways. But fortunately the blazes are freshly painted, so you can, I'm just kind of trying to find the next one as I go. Okay, I'm at 12 miles. I just kept on going straight over here. Then I realized I don't see any blazes. It doesn't look like a path at all. There was nothing telling me to turn, so just backtrack for a second and found this. And hopefully this looks like it's going to be the beginning of the downhill. Let's get this over with. This downhill has been way steeper than I expected compared to the park map. Their topo lines are just too far apart to really judge how steep this is. This is just straight down off the mountain. And it's super rocky too with all these, everything's wet underneath these leaves. Not helping the situation. Boy, that is a long ways down. Okay, finished. I'm gonna, the cars are about 100 yards down there. I'm gonna, since that's technically the end of the trail right there, I'm gonna stop the GPS here and see about adding things up. And today was 12.7 miles from the fire tower. So minus 3, 9.7 is the new reroute. And I will go ahead and put the totals for the entire trail, you know, with the new reroute and everything. I'll put the mileage and the elevation. Now, it will be slightly off just a little bit because of what we did at the end of the day yesterday with that road walk up to the fire tower instead of the trail. And the elevation will be a little bit different. But yeah, that's just, it's not much difference distance-wise or elevation. Maybe a little bit more with the elevation that we didn't do. But the distance is probably pretty close to the same. I want to try to do this. Compare, I'm going to put a side-by-side screenshot of the elevation profile from Morgan Hollow compared to that first big steep hill, or the only steep hill we did today. Because we also had that long downhill right before that. And then this last pretty significantly steep and long downhill right here at the end. Overall, not my favorite trail. I actually preferred the old route before the reroute, even though there's not much to see either way. So just know if you're heading northbound from this parking lot, or from Brooks Run Road is where we're at, that you're going to start off with a doozy of an uphill to start things off. With that, I think we'll call this one a wrap. And thanks for watching.